We're getting into that sweet, sweet mental health conversation, but it's not depressing, so yeah. Hello Friendzies, welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to talk about something that I've talked about briefly in videos that I've posted this year and in videos I've posted last year lately, and this outfit and my brows go with this video. I did a whole theme today. So today, I want to talk about hyper-fixations. If you are a neurodivergent person in any way, shape, or form, ADHD, autism, depression, anxiety, anything like that, BPD, other neurodivergent things, I don't know all of them. I'm very uneducated except for the ones that involve me and like my close friends. Hyperfixations, if you don't know what they are, I'm gonna read the definition on my little handy dandy phone. Well, this is hyperfocus, but I do have in Google hyperfixation meaning, so I don't know if those terms are interchangeable or not, but it says hyperfocus is an intense form of mental concentration or why can't I say this name? I can't say this name. Visualization, there we go, that focuses consciousness on a subject, topic, or task. In some individuals, various subjects or topics may include daydreams, concepts, fiction, the imagination, and other objects of the mind. Now, after that horribly embarrassing attempt at reading, hi, I'm Jared, I'm 18, I never fucking learned how to read. It's 19, isn't it? I just drink coffee, so maybe that's why I'm a little ha ha ha. Anyway, now I can only speak from personal experience. I deal with depression, anxiety, mainly, that I'm aware of, and insomnia. Those are my, like, neurodivergent bits that I'm aware of. There are others, probably, that I honestly have no idea about because I've never been diagnosed, but I do, in fact, have hyperfixations. I talked about last year, I was having a yellow renaissance in one of my old videos, which is like the video, oh, it was my haul video, where I had bought this shirt, and I have two more yellow shirts because I had a revelation and then I immediately started hyperfixating on yellow. I like to call my hyperfixation renaissances. Because I'm sure if you've learned in that history class that the European Renaissance is what we learn about. I don't think we've ever learned in class about, you know, Renaissance periods from other countries across the world, other cultures. But if you'll remember, the European Renaissance was just like a lot of learning new things. It went from alchemy to different sciences. It was all the paintings, it was the music, it was Michelangelo and Da Vinci and all these just like relearnings, I guess, and like revelations and in some ways like betterment for the world. So in a way, I like to call my hyperfixations renaissances because to me, hyperfixation is very much like mental illness symptom. Which it's, like, that's not, you know what I mean? That's not, like, a nice way of putting that. That's a very, like, self-deprecating way of putting it, but again, I'm speaking from personal experience. So instead I like to call it a renaissance, because then it's, like, me learning about myself and me bettering myself in some way, shape, or form, whether it's, like, an improvement on a skill, or it's an improvement on just like my general happiness. I had hyperfixations back when I was younger about guitar and violin, and then those, when they didn't work out for me, resulted in like panic attacks and just like lack of self-worth, and it was a whole thing. But the ones I've been having recently in my adult life in the past year or so are ones that are more to improve my happiness. So like my yellow renaissance, I went out and did a lot of yellow things. I bought a lot of things, like I spent a lot of money on yellow clothing. I have yellow spray paint, and I have spray painted and painted quite a few things yellow, which when I had my pink renaissance, when I went from like hating femininity to fully embracing it and went fully pink, that for me personally was a hyperfixation, a renaissance. because that was, again, a situation where I was working on bettering like my happiness. So having yellow now is like kind of wild because my life is pink, like this bedroom is pink, everything in my room is pink, but I'm looking around and I can see all the bits and pieces of yellow. I have a big sun shelf that we got for like $30 on a yard sale site, and I spray painted this like beautiful soft, it's almost like, it's not quite the darker stripes of yellow. It's a little bit like lighter and more pastel than that, but it's so cute and it's a huge staple of my room now. So like excessive spending is another sometimes like mental illness symptom. I did that with yellow because hyperfixation renaissance. And lately, my hyperfixation, my renaissance, has been picnic aesthetic. I don't know if that's its own aesthetic or if it would be part of cottagecore, perhaps. Picnics. Picnics. The whole aesthetic of them. I have this beautiful image in my head that when it doesn't turn out exactly like it is in my brain, which I know it probably isn't going to, I'm going to be very upset about it because, you know, your beautiful fantasies are never 100% true. But I have this beautiful fantasy of the picnic blanket I want to make, which I talked about in my goals for 2020 and beyond video. It's essentially going to be a glorified comforter, but it's going to be in the gingham pattern, so it's going to be a picnic blanket because something about gingham really pumps the dopamine. Don't ask me why. And you know what it's going to be? It's going to be yellow gingham. I have never been more like about something. But yeah, I have this beautiful image of like a big yellow gingham picnic blanket, not basket. My mom has a cute picnic basket. Big yellow picnic blanket, gingham pattern, and I know the exact outfit I want to wear. It's not yellow because unfortunately I don't have a yellow sundress, but I know exactly which sundress I want to wear with my little boater hat. Probably down in Plymouth if Mom and I go for a gay trip. It'll be gay for me. Unfortunately for Mom, it will not be gay. If Mom and I go on a day trip, probably by the water, little cucumbers and little finger sandwiches and little macaroons. This is, again, this is a hyperfixation. If you are a neurodivergent person in any way, shape, or form, you will understand where this, like, is coming from. But yeah, it was more of me wanting to talk about how, instead of calling it a hyperfixation, which it is, I like to call it a renaissance, and it is more fun that way for me, and I feel like, not overall, but like personally, like the way I was raised and the way like society is and everything, it helps me fight the stigma that's against me as a mentally ill individual. That's out in society, because, you know, people with any kind of neurodivergence, you know, are seen as bad or not, you know, worth anything. Just different bad stigmas that are against us, and some are worse and some are a little bit better, like depressed people are, you know, just considered lazy, but like autistic people, some people think, you know, that they shouldn't even be alive. So it's different ends of it, but again, calling it a renaissance kind of helps me fight that stigma, at least in my own like personal bubble and in my brain, because there are still times where certain things about my mental health, I'm like, ew, you know, these people, these studies, these articles are so right because blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, hey, no, wait, I'm just vibing. It's not my fault that I'm mentally ill. My brain just doesn't make the happy juice. I hope that makes sense. I feel like this video was a little chaotic, maybe a little manic. Who knows? It is kind of about mental health. Maybe we can just stir them all up in the same pot. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to. We just talk. We just vibe on this channel. Feel free to reach out to me on any of the social medias that are listed down below. And I will see you in the next video. Bye! Oof, we got a video update from Claire Siobhan, and I don't think I'm ready to see Max even sexier than he was before.